Welcome back, boys and girls, and welcome to another week of math. This week will be a little bit different than the last 3 weeks, and I hope you find it a little bit easier. If you are struggling with the addition and subtraction with fractions, this week is going to be a breeze. We are going to work on multiplication with fractions. There are actually going to be 2 videos this week. This is video number 1. And it is going to be working on multiplying fraction times a fraction. So after you watch this video, you're going to need to work on the 2 worksheets that have to do with multiplying a fraction times a fraction. So you need to be following along just like always. And let me move over to our modeling, please. All right, again, we're working on multiplying a fraction times a fraction, and I love fractions because they have to do with food. So let's take a look at this. We've got a plate of brownies, something Mrs. Spitzley loves and wishes she could eat, but you know she can't because of her migraines. So let's imagine we've got the fraction 1/3 and 1/5. So we've got the problem 1/3 of 1/5. The first thing that we need to take a look at is that pesky word of. Of just simply means the word multiply. Of means multiply. So we can actually flop that out and replace that with a multiplication symbol. Of means to multiply. So we've got 1/3 of 1/5. So imagine that you guys ate a pan of brownies with your family and there was 1/5 of them left, and you get to eat 1/3 of what was left. So let's take a look. First, we need to divide this pan of brownies into 1/5. So let's take a look here and see if I can do that appropriately. I've got there, splitting it into fifths. 1, 2, nope. See, 1, 2, 3, that'll be close enough. 4 and 5, all right, and we're going to label each one of these. This is 1/5, another 5th, another 5th, 4/5, and 5/5, making the whole. All right, now we're actually only being allowed to have 1/5 here. So if you can imagine then, most of this brownie pan is actually empty. See if Mrs. Spitzley can actually extend that. Must have been you guys were super hungry pigs with your family last night. So all of this part of the brownie pan is empty. So this little strip is all that's left to the brownies. And of those leftovers, you go and you beg Mom, and you're like, Mom, 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 I want some brownies. She's like, sure, you can have 1/3 of what's left. So you're going to take this and you're going to divide it into 3 pieces. So 1, 2, and 3. So the question is, how much of the original pan amount do you get to eat? Well, remember with fractions, you have to keep piece sizes equal. This piece size is not equal to these fifths over here. So to make it simple, we're just going to simply extend the line all the way across that brownie pan in order to make those piece sizes the same. And now it's simple to see. You get 1 piece out of there. So you're going to get, let's see if my highlighter will work on the brownie, you get 1 of those pieces. So how much do you get? You get 1 piece. Oh, that did not want to work for me. You get 1 piece. And what is that piece size? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You did the counting. It is 1/15. I'm not going to write it. My computer's not working. So 1/3 of the remaining 1/5 is 1/15. Do you see any patterns there with those numbers? Another one with the brownie example. 1/4 of 2/3. Remember that pesky of just simply means to multiply. So this time there's 2/3 of the brownie pan left. We still need to get that brownie pan into thirds. All right, so let's take a look. Let's split this pan into thirds. Must have been you guys were eating these brownies right before bed and afraid to eat too much before bed. Close enough here. We'll label this. This is 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3. But this time, 2 out of the 3 were left. So this is the only portion of the brownie pan that's empty. This is how much that got eaten. So this is how much that's left. And you went to Mom and said, Mom, Grandma, I'm hungry. How much can I have? And she forgot how much was left over. And she said, well, you can have a fourth of it. So we're going to take this whole chunk. This is an imaginary line. Take this whole chunk and you're going to split it in 4 pieces. Spitzley likes to cut it in half first. So there's half and then a fourth and a fourth. But again, in fractions, the piece sizes have to be equal. So we're going to just extend those lines into that empty brownie pan so that all our piece sizes can be equal. And let's take a look back at what you were told to eat. You said you were told that you could have 1 out of the 4. Well, these were our 4th strips. So it wasn't just 1 piece, it was 1 whole entire strip. So don't cheat yourself here. You get this whole strip. Well, there's nothing here, right? So you're not going to eat the empty pan. The crumbs don't count. So out of that, how many pieces are there? Yep, 2. You get 2 entire pieces there. So you get 2 pieces, and then you got to look at the piece sizes. 1, 2, 3, even though it's empty, we're counting the sizes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It would be 12ths. 2 12ths. Now take a look here, because some of this is a little bit of review from 4th grade when you did some multiplication with fractions. Do you see how we move from these original numbers to get the answer? Hope you're seeing a pattern. Lasagna, one of my kids' favorites. 1/4 of half. Of means to multiply. Even if you just learned that, I'll be excited. All right, half. So we've got half the pan. So we've got half here and the other half over here. So half of it was eaten. The other half is what's left. And the next day for lunch, you get to split up those leftovers, and you're going to split it into how many pieces? Yep, you're going to split it into 4. So again, for 4, so I like to split it in half, and then I'm going to split it up here again. So 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, but remember, fractions of piece sizes have to be equal, so we're going to extend it into that blank pan. All right, let's look back, because last time we got more than 1, but nope, this time we only get 1 of those. Okay, so let's take a look here. Out of those 4, so we get the 1 piece right here. There's nothing here that we can eat, unfortunately. And so we get 1 piece, and the piece size is 2, 4, 6, 8. So we get 1/8 out of the original pan amount. Again, take a look. Are you noticing any patterns here? I'm gonna skip that one for now. Let's move on to the pizza. 3/5 of half. Of means to. Hope you're shouting multiply, or even rolling your eyes at me would be okay. So we're starting with half of that pizza. Half here and half over here. So this half got eaten, let's say for breakfast. And now it's supper. And we're going to split that into how many pieces? Yep, 5ths. So 5ths is tricky here. Let's see if I can do it here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to extend it into the empty area of the pan as well, or the box. You could do this as you're doing it the first time. That would be fine. Right? But then take a look at your numerator. Your numerator is going to tell you how much of those sections you get. And it looks like I'm going to get 3 of them. Happy day. Somebody doesn't like pepperoni. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Empty pieces don't count, so I get 1, 2, and 3 pieces of pizza. And what is the piece size? 3 what? Are you counting it? Good. Tenths. So the piece sizes are tenths. I get 3/10 of the original pizza. Again, take a look up at the fraction. How did we go from 3/5 of half to our answer of 3/10? Are you seeing the pattern? Let's take a look at one more example. I've got some cornbread. One of my kids thought it was a cake. I'm like, oh no, this is cornbread. We used to eat this with syrup when I was a kid. Of means to multiply. And I've only got 1/5 of it left. So I've got to split this up into fifths. One, two, three, 4, 5. Okay, and there was only 1/5 of it left. You guys must like cornbread as much as I do. I know I see you guys gobble it down in the cafeteria when they serve it with chili soup. All right, and out of that 1/5 that is remaining there, then we're going to split the remaining pieces into fourths. Again, I like to split that in half first. And then again, that should give me my 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. And of those, I get to eat 3 of them. So I get this one. Again, nothing here on the empties. We only cut it so that we could have the same piece sizes. And 3. Right? So again, we're asking ourselves of the original piece, of the original pan, how much did I get to eat? So take a look then again. Yep, we've got 3 that are highlighted out of the original size. How many? There's a lot of counting there to do. Or are you noticing I don't want to say the cheat, but the more efficient way of being able to answer that? I'll give you a minute to count there while I mess around with my numbers. The answer is 20. So 3 over 20, 3/20. Okay? This is what your homework is going to look like, because I can't print you out something with food to do at home. So it will more take a look like this. Look, this is the exact same number that you just had on the cornbread. 3/4 times 1/5. Except instead of having a picture of the cornbread, you've just got a box like this, okay? So you're going to have to draw or build one of your numbers first. So just like before, I can build my fifths. So 1, 2, 3, and you're going to want to use a pencil because look, Mrs. Spitzley's got them way too close together. Okay, so there I've got my fifths, all right? And then, instead of being able to use a box for this, guess what you're going to do? You're going to use your highlighting tool. So I'm going to shade in my 1/5 here to represent how much I actually do have left of the cornbread, just like you did over here where you showed 1/5 of what was left with the cornbread. You're going to represent here 1/5. Okay? Then you're going to come, just like we were doing, and you're going to show your fourths. So I'm going to hand draw just like I was doing before. I'm going to represent my fourths. Oop, all crazy with that, huh? Okay, and just like I did over here, remember how I highlighted the 3 that I got? I'm going to do the same with that over here. Just use a different color this time. That's too yellow. I'm going to represent the 3 I get. And just like before, where sometimes I want to cross, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4. Those are the pieces I get. Now to find your answer, looking at it this way, remember this part of the pan was empty. Remember, it was completely empty over here. So what I'm looking at for my answer is these pieces right here. And when we're doing this area model, that's what this model is really called. It's where the 2 colors overlap, where I have the purple and the yellow together. And there's 1, 2, and 3 pictures there. Now, I will tell you this, and I want you to listen to me very, very carefully with this. If you get to the worksheets where it's just those boxes and there's no pictures, and you're like, mind blown, I cannot do this. Don't worry about it. Just move straight on to the other worksheet where you're just doing the multiplying and you do not have to do the picture. The picture is for you and for your brain of understanding why things work. You're never going to stop and do a picture like that for the rest of your life. Again, the picture is for you to understand why things work. If you're struggling on the worksheet, oh well, move on. As long as you understand why it works, I'm okay with that. So again, if you're struggling with the drawing and the highlighting and the answering, skip it. But I do want you to do the second page of this worksheet set. So let me move back just a minute here. So this is the main part here, okay? These pictures are the why. These are the why it works. This is the what you do. This is the algorithm, the doing math without pictures. You multiply across the numerator, your top numbers, and you multiply across the denominators. And it is...
That was easy.
That easy. Take a look at the examples. Here we had 1/3 of 1/5, and we ended up with 1 piece out of 15. Here, take a look. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 3 is 12. Here, 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, we didn't do that one. 3 times 1, right across the top, is 3. 5 times 2 is 10. Right? 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 5 is 20. It is that easy to multiply your fractions. Again, the first page of your worksheet is the modeling, it's the drawing and the doing the pictures. If you don't understand it, Mrs. Spitzley is telling you, hey, go ahead and skip it. But make sure you watch this video and you understand the why. Move on to the second page of that worksheet and you're multiplying across the top, you're multiplying across the bottom. And then make sure you watch the second worksheet and I will see you again during that second one. Work hard and I'll see you again in a little bit for the second one.